official launch of the admission activities for the 18th batch of Executive Postgraduate Program. This is IM Cohort's faculty members and all our distinguished guests. To officially mark this occasion and share the vision of IM Cohort and the EPGP program, we announce the launch of the admission for the 18th batch.
Was conceived by a political decision to be located on a hilltop in Kuttamangalam in the city of Kozhikode, and that political decision did not buy into the fact that you could not locate a business school where there is no real business activity, where air connectivity is difficult. So we've come a long way since this was founded, this school was founded. We celebrated the passing out of the 25th cohort, 27th convocation. In this, we have done three things very clearly, and this is an outcome of the three things. First thing is that we went into digital modes of learning in the year 2001, which is where instead of people coming to IIM on a hilltop, IIM started going to people. The only way we could go to people was through the digital mode. The second D is what we did is we diversified our learning portfolio. How did we diversify it? By incorporating different programs in different timelines so that people from different segments of society could access our knowledge. So we had our diploma program, which is coming up, certificate programs, or classical postgraduate program, and then postgraduate program in liberal studies and finance, PhD practice track. So multiple programs diversified a range of offerings to Indians who wanted to be part of the IIM experience, but could not crack the CAT test or did not find time to be able to prepare for the test, so they missed the bus. But for those who missed the bus, we had several vehicles to bring them over to this institution. The third element was disruption. The first D was digitization, the second D was diversification, the third D was disruption of the conventional way where teaching and learning takes place. And this program that we are launching today, EPGP batch 17, 18th batch. So 1 to 17 is what we have covered, and we have 5,000 enrollments across the EPGP batch in 17 years. So this is a cohort size of 5,000. 74% are male, 26% female candidates. They have over 9 years of average work experience. They are mid-management professionals coming from 20 industries including IT, consulting, automotive, BFSI, manufacturing, power and energy, pharma and healthcare, PSU, aerospace, chemicals, construction and real estate, biotechnology, textiles. 90 plus multinationals are represented in this program, including Boeing, Walmart, Microsoft, Amazon, Deloitte, KPMG, Bank of America, Siemens, Schneider Electric, Oracles, etc. So this could not have been possible standing on a hill and doing nothing but enjoying life here. We obviously had a partner who took our knowledge, our wisdom, our insights, our experience to far corners of the world in 22 states. So this is a 15 times growth for working professionals. We have 40 students in EPGP 1 and now 615 in EPGP 16. So this represents a growth of 15x to states of India. International immersion to other campuses such as SDA Bocconi, Italy, that's the #1 incubation centers across several spaces, and then cutting edge studio on campus for faculty. Is that this is the time when we have to rethink education in India from exclusive elitism to inclusive. You select them based on one examination and you rule them out if they don't pass that exam. That is similarly unfortunate in a country where young people who want to be educated, they represent more than the total population of United States, Canada, the level of aspiration. And I am as an institution where people aspire to be 307. We leave out 649 students for every student we take. What will happen to the 649 students? So these are the kind of courses that will bring them back to the fold of IIM, mid-career, midlife, to renew their learning, because learning, as you know today, is timeless. You have to learn at every stage of life. You cannot say that I earned a degree in 2020 and it will be okay in 2050. No. You have to continue, renew yourself, be up to date. And that this in short is the launch of the program. Hereafter, the ball is in your court. If you have questions, we are happy to respond. My colleagues will help me with that. All right? Is that okay? Is there anything more you wanted me to say? No. So you can take some questions. What do you want? Official launch. Okay, we'll do that.
So request deans and chairpersons to join the launch.
Oh, that's it. Right there. Okay. All right. Nobody is applauding. What is happening to us? Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Yep.
I am kozhikode pioneered not only in India but also in the Asia Pacific region in the year 2019 by the Executive Education Program Introduction. And by 2008, we came up with our first EPGP program. Probably there are two new things that have been introduced. One aspect is the optional international immersion program. So after abroad, for which is partnered with IIM Kozhikode. We partnered with SDM Bakori in the last
incubator that we have here. What is the success rate so far?
This is incubator called live.
Yeah.
Who's going to speak on live? What you do? This is the chairperson, the director of live, so he can tell you first time.
Okay. So live is, has grown leaps and bounds in terms of its growth of incubation. We don't look at incubation of the success is, is in terms of the stages. If you really see how many enterprises are running, quite a large number of them continue their journey beyond the 2-year incubation period that we have at IMK Live. And one of the approaches that we have taken, which is little different from other places in the part of incubation, is our incubators are not just around in Kozhikode. Again, we are sitting on a hillock, continuing from the angle of what we looked at when we started digitalization. So, the journey of IMK Live was also looking at startups across India, nationally. So, most of these startups are not just located here; they're located across India, and they keep connected to the hub here.
Give us some numbers in terms of numbers.
Generally, the numbers are more than 100 startups are definitely incubated at IMK Live. And some of the other things is one of the startups, which probably one of the startups recently received a funding, which is pretty significant in terms of 10 crores from an investor. And this is a startup based in Trivandrum. The name is Netrasemi, and it's an AI edge computing startup. And this startup is trying to make chips design, which will actually augment some of the security level chips that are required at borders, etc. So this is a very defense and security based startup. And this startup received significant funding recently, and that's one of the recent successes that we had.
So we have generated employment to the extent of a few thousand, and we have generated, we raised cash as well, about 400 crores. So if that is an indicator of the success, then we must call it successful. If it is not successful, then we have to be more successful. Right? That's all I can say for that. Any other question?
Sir, we have Malayalam regional media also here.
Yes,
Anybody wants to ask in Malayalam, we have Professor Anand Uni sir. He can.
I'll just introduce my colleagues before you ask. Professor Anand Uni is my incoming, he's been a dean in the past, he's the dean in charge of all our Shilpa Sethi is in charge of international relations and several programs that we run. Professor Rajesh Upatala is the outgoing dean of programs, and Professor Venkat, sitting to my extreme right, teaching there as well. And sitting there are nine faculty. You can see all of them smiling. And so they have all expertise in different areas. If you want to talk to them, interview them, ask them questions, feel free to do so. Yeah, PTI. Yeah. Please ask.
So in the midst of AI, how relevant these are programs?
In the midst of AI, how relevant our programs are? Well, what is AI? Artificial intelligence. Who am I? Natural intelligence. Who has created AI? I have created AI. Natural intelligence has created artificial intelligence. So how relevant is a hammer to a carpenter? Carpenter uses the hammer. Hammer doesn't use the carpenter, right? So if I have a new device which is neither a hammer nor a screwdriver, which is something I don't know, I have to learn how to use it. So AI is an instrument that I have created. Generative AI is another instrument that I have generated, and I must know how to handle what I have created. Right? That is what we are. How relevant is our process becomes even more relevant because most people don't know how to use AI. They don't know what AI itself is, and so that itself is the first. The first level is there is ignorance. The second level is illusion. Ignorance is I don't know what AI is. Somebody tells me, I now know how AI works. And what is illusion? Even when I know what AI is, I think AI is going to run me. Like a dog is saying that the tail is going to move me. The dog moves the tail does not move the dog. No, that is another illusion I have, that AI is going to move me. It doesn't move me. It is a tool that I have to master. As long as I don't master it, I'm anxious, I'm worried, but as soon as we master it, so a lot of our work, in short, lot of our work will be outsourced to those digital devices that can do it faster, cheaper, more economically. Anything that can be broken down into cause and effect can be done more economically. But anything that is more complex than that, anything that the algorithm cannot take over, is what I have to invest in. So our education system is poised to use that revolutionary technology that's coming up and to be able to use it, harness it, to do better quality research, to do better service to our stakeholders. Because this is a very important tool and we must know how to use it. That's about it. That's my view, but there are experts in the system who know better than me, who should be able to tell you. In short, that's my response. What else? Yes.
I am different from India.
Right.
Can any one of you give me insights on placements that such programs need, please?
Okay. So as far as placements is concerned, we have. This is my last response. Then I'm going to leave. So see, we have looked at the word placements, and we asked ourselves a question: Are we an employment exchange, or are we an education institution? If I'm an employment exchange, then placement should be the first thing in my mind. But for me, the real work is how does a student become employable rather than find employment? Because I can't give them employment. I can give them employability, right? I can give them the capability to employ themselves. So if I start behaving like a placement agency or employment exchange, then students will come here only for jobs. I'm telling them there are no jobs I can give you. I can introduce you to the customers for your talent. So if McKinsey is your customer, if State Bank of India is your customer, if BCG is your customer, then I can bring the customer close to you to let the customer choose you. I'm not getting involved in the marriage. I can arrange the marriage in my campus. This simply means that my job is not to look at placement as the indicator of our value creation. Placement happens as a natural outcome of the quality of students we admit, the quality of students we teach and prepare for the larger world. Right? That is our job. So we have replaced the word placecom. Placecom is across the country. Placecom is a fearful word among students. Placecom controls jivika or livelihoods. And so this is a thing that where we thought we would transform Placecom into an organization called CARE. CARE is the short form of Corporate Access, Readiness and Engagement, which means I can give you access to corporate world, I can make you ready for the corporate world, and I can help you engage with the corporate world. Whether they will take you or not is their job. So we replace the placement office with CARE office. The CARE's job is to enhance their capability through preparing them for the AI world, for the world where most recruitment decisions are happening through AI. People are figuring out your biodata through algorithms. And so preparing them for the world that is going to come, giving them the confidence when they face the world, but not telling them that I'll give you a job, because we honestly don't give a job. Unlike other IIMs which have not done much here, we have been the first ones, pioneers, to replace placement CARE office, which means we'll put more resources, more attention to grooming students for the larger world. Where they are going to go is their business, their choice. We are not in charge of placements. So don't count us in terms of placement. Just count us what our students are doing after 15 years of passing out. How have we grown them? So that should be the indicator rather than when they get their first job. That is a mismeasurement of our capabilities, right? If it sounds too difficult, my colleagues will simplify it for you. Right? Thank you so much. I have errands to run because I have a convocation. You know, the thing is, most people think management is rocket science. So in order to get into IIM, you have to really be very hard-hitting, complex. But today we have a guest who is the chairman of ISRO. He has made rocket science as simple as management. He hits the head in ISRO. You should understand that management is the way of evolving yourself to be able to face the world better. It's the art and science of growing through learning. There is nothing more to it. Management starts with human, man. And therefore, it is the study of man, study of the human being, men and women. So they can be better prepared to deal with the world, manage the world. And people often ask me that, is management still going to be relevant in the AI world? I said, as long as there is mismanagement in India, management will be relevant. And there is mismanagement. Once you go out of this IIM campus, you will see mismanagement everywhere. Except that we do a better job of managing ourselves. That's why people come here. So management will be relevant as long as India needs it, and I think we will be relevant. On that note, and with my asking you for forgiveness that I have to leave right now, but these colleagues are far more capable than I am to respond to some of the other questions. Feel free to ask. All right? Thank you. Appreciate it.
For the engaging questions and valuable discussions. As we conclude, I extend my sincere gratitude for joining us today. With the admission activities now officially launched, we look forward to a day ahead. We have arranged lunch for you all at the 5th floor.
Interested in your EPCP program?
Okay. So with the kind of program that we run, which is more hybrid in nature, which has online classes, which has 3 immersions, right? And so we do have international participants who are based out of the UAE, the GCC, and for a few programs, other than these also, we have students from across the globe. Right? For this particular program, international students is a little difficult because they have to go and do the classes in the center. Right? In case you would like to also know something more about the international immersion that we started this year, so this was an optional thing we started where we sought student interest.
Yes.
Around 50 people were sent for an immersion for a week or so to SDA Bakoni. SDA Bakoni and our team, including the EPGP chair and the team, they had discussion on what kind of program we want to give to our participants. So several courses were discussed. One was finalized. They also got an MVP certificate from SDA Bakoni while they were there. So it was not just a cultural immersion, it was something where they learned on the go, experiential learning. They did an industry visit. They visited a car factory. They had some industry speakers there. They had classroom sessions. They also went. They had some sections in historical monuments in Italy because SDA has that kind of presence. And going forward, we want to extend it. We have involved more partners, as the chair has already pointed out, several leading institutes have shown interest for immersion program, including SDA definitely, HEC Paris, which is another high ranked, and then we have IT Madrid, where some other participants are already going, and a university in Japan, King's London. So the entire list of participants that we have, the global partners, they have shown interest. But we are more interested in going for the top ranked. Rotary we develop, the kind of networks they have, where even though the direct placement is not there, they themselves get a lot of benefit through their networks because it's a batch of 500 plus, about 600. And then in so many years, it's 5,000 almost. So you can look at the richness of experience our alumni carry and the way they can help each other.
Hi, I'm Arfan from Indian Express Group. So what is the...
So just because globalizing Indian thought is where we are all focused, whether it is our residential programs or IL or even the small certificates. So everything that we do around is globalizing Indian thought. And only the other day, the director and the chief guest mentioned in the convocation address also, when our students are asked what is globalizing Indian thought, the simple answer was India matters. And that is an eye-opener and has been a key thing, the globalizing Indian thought for all of us, because whether it is the case studies, whether it is the pedagogy, whether it is the course material, or whether it is the in-classroom interactions, we ensure that the entire thing goes towards, in fact, aligns towards globalizing Indian thought, the Satyam, Nityam, and Purnam, the three pillars that we stand on.